Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to create this dashboard that you can see on your screen using Power BI. This is a project management tool for project managers as well as executives to keep track of projects in their organizations. On this first page, we have a summary of the projects that we have, total project, project cost, project benefits, and benefit cost ratio. Here we have the complexity, whether high, low, or medium. Then the trend of the project based on the number of projects per month. If you select the year here, 2023, for instance, you can see that the dashboard filters for 2023. And here we have the region, the status, whether completed, cancelled, in progress, or on hold, the benefit cost ratio based on different projects, the department, as well as different phases. If I hover here, we have another page for project timeline. When I click on it, it takes me to the timeline page. Here we have a better representation of all the projects per year and month. And down here we have a Gantt chart showing the timeline of the project. When I expand it, you can see that for each project, you can see the status of the project, whether it is the percentage of completion. You can see that from the tooltip, as well as the phase of the project. Then go back. The final page here, you have the project details. Here is a table of all the projects based on the project manager's complexity as well as the status. You can filter by region, project type, project name, project manager, and year. Then you can go back to the summary page here. So I'm going to show you how I created this dashboard. But before that, if you're new to this channel, click on the subscribe button and turn off your notifications so that you get notified when I post new videos. Let's get started. So we start by creating a background on PowerPoint. Here you can see the three backgrounds that I'm using, and they are similar, just the number of shapes that differ. So I'll create just the first page and you can replicate the rest. So I'll click on new slide, blank slide, insert shape, insert a rectangle, cover the slide with the rectangle. The shape fill, I want it to be the shade. Then I don't want any outline. Then insert another rectangle to serve for a navigation bar. I want the width to be 0.9. Then I want to change the fill to gradient fill, more gradient. Click on this gradient fill option here. Then I'll remove some of these holders. I just want only two. So on the first part here, I want this to be black and the second part to be the shade of blue. Then close up this part. Insert a text box. Type project management. Change the font size to 24. Click on shape format, rotate left of 90 degrees. Drag it down to this end. Highlight everything and click on the font color. This should be the font color here. Change it to white. So we have that part. Next is to add our shape for the title as well as the placeholder for our slicer. I will drag a rectangle, increase the width to 12.06, adjust it, then change the fill. I want it to be white and no outline, but I want to add shadow, outer. Then click on that shadow again to go to shadow option. Then I want to change the color of the shadow to this. This should be 35. Yeah. Close up this part so that I'll have more space. Then copy this because it now has the effect that I want. Reduce the width. I want the width to be 4.09. Adjust that. And the height to be 1.13. Then copy. So this next duplicate is going to serve for our card. I'll reduce the width to 1.18. 82. Then I will duplicate this into 4 places. So what I'm going to do now is to select all, then click on align, distribute horizontally, then align top and bottom. So we have this. So I'll copy this, paste it below, adjust the width, then the height. I want the height to be 2.35. So I'll change the height to 2.35. Then copy, paste so that it also serves for the chart below. And paste this here as well. Then for this part, I'll just copy and paste. Then finally, I will click on select all and group everything. Right click and save as picture. So as you're saving it as picture, you save as SVG. When you save it to any particular folder you want, we can now import it into Power BI. I've saved this already, so I don't need to resave this. So you can replicate the same thing for the second and the third pages. It's just the number of visuals that differs. Now we're on Power BI. We are going to import the backgrounds that we've created using PowerPoint. So click on Format, Canvas Background, click on Image, search for the background. So this is my first one based on what you saved it as. Then remove the transparency, reduce that to 0. Then set image fit to fit. So we have the first page. Then I'll import the second page as well. So this is the second page and my third page. So we have the third page. So the next thing we're going to do is to import the data set. So our data set is a CSV data set. So I will click on get data, click on CSV file, search for it. So this is the data set. Click on open, then click on transform. The link to this data set is going to be in the description below if you want to follow along. So as you can see, Power BI has automatically promoted header and change type for us. You can go through the type to ensure that each column is represented by the right data type. If you cannot see this part in your Power BI Power Query aspect of things, you can turn this on by clicking on View and Column Quality, Distribution and Profiling. It helps you to check the quality of each column to ensure that it's representing what you want it to represent and to help you to clean your data generally. So the next thing I'm going to do here, you can see that we have year and month here. I don't want that. I only want the start date and end date because I'm going to be using a date table in this particular analysis. So I'll remove these two columns. Hold down the shift key, select the two and remove columns. The next thing, if you look at this face, it has a number in between, and I want to use that number that is in between to sort this face column. So I will duplicate this column. If you look at the column itself, the number is in between a space and a hyphen. So that is going to serve as our delimiter. So I'll click on it, click on transform, extract, extract text between delimiters. So the start part of the delimiter is a space, then the end part is hyphen. Click OK. So you can see that it has extracted the numbers. So I will change this to face number, then click enter. Change this to just data because the name is long. Then click on home, close and apply. So our data set has loaded. If you look at it here, you can look at the data here. You have the project's name and you have the project type, manager, region, department, cost, benefits, then complexity, phase, start date, and end date. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to add a simple date table. So if you look at our start date here, we have, if you sort this by ascending order, it's currently sorted as ascending order. We have 1st of February 2021 as the very first date in this data, which is going to be the first date in our date table. So to create a date table, I'm going to click on Table Tools, New Table, then Date Table, which is equal to, I'll use the calendar function. The start date, I'll use the date function. The year, we are starting with 2021. The month 02, which is February, and the day 01, which is the first date of February, then comma, and the end date today, then click commit, change the format of the date itself to this particular format. So the next thing I'm going to extract from here is the year. I'll click on new column, year, which is equal to, I'll use the year function and the date of the date table. You can see that date here. The next column is going to be the month number. Then click month, no, type month number, which is equal to, use the month function on that same date in date table. Select that. Click on new column, month name, which is equal to, use the format function for the date on the date part. Select the date column. So what format do we want? We just want the first three letters of the month and bracket closes. So this gives us the month name. Then I'll just click on month name and sort it by month number. Sort column by month number. Then go to the date table and mark it as date table for this particular data set. I'll choose the date column in the date table. Save. So the next thing I'm going to do is to connect my date table to my data table. So I'll click on manage relationship, new relationship, the table data and my date table. I will connect start date to this date. Then I'll go to the data table to ensure that both the start date and end date are both date table, I mean date columns and not date time. Okay, this is date. I'll change the format to this format. Then for the start date is also date. I'll change the format to this format. So I'll go back to report view Our next thing is to create a table for my measures. I'll click on enter data measures, click on load. Then on the table view, you can see the measures table. So the first measure we are going to be creating, we are going to count the total number of projects that we have. So I'll right click on measure, new measure, total projects, which is equal to, we'll use the count function, count project name. The next measure is going to be the project cost. Right click. If you look at the data, we have the project cost column. It should be somewhere here, this particular column. So I'll right click on measures table, new measure, project cost, which is equal to sum of the project cost column. Then the next one is going to be project benefits, the total project benefit that we have. So right now, if you look at this, you find out that we also have a column for project benefits. So I'm going to create that measure, new measure, project benefits. Some project benefits column. So I'm going to change the format of this to currency, and also for the project cost to currency USD. Then the next measure is going to be the benefit cost ratio. So new measure, benefit cost ratio, which is going to be, we're going to divide benefits that we have calculated, that is the benefit measure, and the cost, project cost, then return 0. And I'm going to delete this particular column. We don't need it, column 1. So now we have our measures. We'll start creating our visualization. So the first visualization we're going to create is the normal card. Just click on card. So we want to represent our total project. So I'll click on this to show my measures, select total project. So you can see we have 99 projects. Adjust it to fit this particular card. Then click on the format part. Reduce the callout size to 30 so that it will fit. Then size and style, remove the background because we already have a placeholder there with a white background. So I'll adjust this. Then duplicate. Next, this is going to serve for our project cost. So deselect total project and select project cost. Then I will format this. I don't want the decimal places to show. Select 0. Then duplicate project cost. We want this to represent our benefits. Select project benefits. Then format it, remove the decimal places. Then finally, we have for the benefit cost ratio. So we have our card visuals. The next chart we're going to be creating is total project by complexity. So you click on bar chart, drag it to this end, cover this, and total project, and select complexity. So instead of it being categorically, I'll select the complexity and drag it down to legend. So for the y-axis, I will turn off the y-axis. Then for the chart title, I want it to just be complexity. Reduce the size to 10. Then increase the height of my chart to 111. Then for the legend, I want to turn off the title, location of the legend, bottom center. Then for data label, turn it on. Right now it is not visible. Go down to value, reduce that to 8, and increase the chart. Now we have our chart for complexity. Next is the trend of projects. I'll click on line chart, drag that to this end. Select total project by month. The month name is going to come from my date table. Then I will remove blank. So we have this time to clean up the chart. I will turn off the background. For the y-axis, turn off the title. And for the x-axis, turn off the name. That's the title. Then scroll down to grid lines. Turn off the horizontal grid line. Then for the line itself, click on line. Click on line. Scroll down. The style of the line is currently linear. Change it to smooth. Then color, change to this shade of blue. Then change the title to trend of projects. So the next chart is going to be total project by region, which is going to be a donut chart. Click on donut chart, drag it to this middle. Select total profit projects, and then the under the data table you have region as a column. Then clean that up, turn off the background, the title, we have only region, and reduce the size of the title to 10. I'll do the same for the trend of projects. Then for the donut chart, for the legend, turn off the title of the legend, position bottom center, and for the slices, I want to change this blue to our color theme. Then spacing, increase the spacing. Then the data label, I want it to show just the percent of total. So we have the region. Next is going to be benefit cost ratio, which is the bar chart. It has even fit here. So I'm going to add the benefit cost ratio by different projects. So I'll select project name, then clean it up, turn off the background, the title, reduce that to 10. Then for the y-axis, turn off the title. For the x-axis, turn off the value as well as the title. Then for the bars, change the color of the bar to our color theme. Then layout, increase the spacing. Then scroll up to y-axis. I want the name to show, at least a good percentage of the name to show. So scroll up to the y-axis and increase the maximum width. So we have that. Scroll down to data label and turn that on. So we have the data label showing. Then edit the title to only show benefit cost ratio. Next chart is going to be the total project by department, which is a column chart. So select column chart and total project and department. So this is a quick one. Turn off the background. The title should only read department. Reduce that to 10. Then go to the x-axis, maximum height, increase that so that a good percentage of the name will show. Then turn off the title of the x-axis. For the y-axis, turn off the value and title. Then for the column, change the color of the column. Then turn on the data label. So we have that of department. So for this next chart, I'm going to be adding another measure to our measures table, which is going to be baseline, new measure, baseline, which is equal to 0. So I'm going to click on column chart, bar chart. So we have that here. So total project by status. Click on status. Then format, turn off the background. Title, reduce that to 10. And edit this to show just status. Then for the y-axis, turn off the title. Then for the x-axis, turn off the title and value. Then for the bar, change the color of the bars to white. So we are going to be using error bars instead of the normal bar. So I'll scroll down to error bars, turn that on. So for the upper bound, I'm going to be having my total project there. And for the lower bound, I'm going to be adding the baseline that I just created, which is just 0. Then scroll down. For the bar, I'll increase the bar color is going to be our blue and increase the weight to 10. Then for the marker, instead of this shape, I'm going to change it to this and increase it to 6. Then for the border color, I'll change the border color to our color theme. Finally, I'm going to turn on the data label for the chart. And the position of the data label, I want it to be outside end. So we have the distribution for status. The next one is going to be phase. So for that, I'm going to use a column chart. Same thing that we did for status. I'll select total projects by phase. So right now you can see that the phases, if I expand this, you can see that the phases are not sorted the way we want. So we are going to use the phase number that we created initially. So click on phase, sort column by phase number. So I'll go back, remove the phase, and put that again. So right now you can see that it has been sorted from phase 1 to phase 5. So I'm going to start editing, turn off the background for the title, reduce that to 10, and change the title name to just phase. Then for the x-axis, turn off the title of the x-axis. Then for the y-axis, do the same as well. Then the grid lines, turn that off. And also for the bar, change the color to white, just like we did for status. Then scroll down to error bars, turn that on. The upper band is going to be total project, lower band is going to be baseline. Then change the bar color to blue, increase the width to 7. Turn on the data label and scroll down. Under the value section, we have the color. Change the color to white and scroll down to background. Change the background to our color theme of blue. Reduce transparency to 40. Then position. Change the position from auto to outside end. So we have this. So we have all our charts for the first page. Finally, I'm going to add a slicer, two slicers actually, for my project name and year. So I'll take my project name and edit the slicer setting. So I'll change that to drop down. The title, that's the slicer header. Reduce that to 9. Then drag the slicer and remove the background. So we have the first slicer up here. Duplicate that. Then this one for our year. Remove project name and add year from date table. So we have our two slicers. Finally, I'm going to add a text box for the title. Project management summary. So increase the size to 28. Adjust that. Turn off the background. So I'll reduce the size to 24 so that it will fit well. Then change the color of this to our blue. And then change the font to Sergio UI Bold. So we are done with the first page. We are going to work on the second page now. But before we do that, I'm going to copy this text as well as these two slices because they are going to be present in the second page and paste them on the second page. So click on the three, copy, go to the second page and paste them there. Don't sync. So the second page is going to be the project timeline. Change this to timeline. Our first chart is going to be a line chart showing the total number of projects, year and month name all together. So I'll click on the data, total project, then month name, and I'll drag it to the top. So for I'll edit the filter for month name to remove the blank, then start editing the chart, turn off the background. For the title, I just want to see it as trend of project. Then for the x-axis, turn off the title. For the y-axis, turn off the title and value. Then change the color of the line. So the next chart is going to be a Gantt chart. This particular one is a custom visual. To get it, click on Get More Visuals. You will need to sign in and ensure you have Power BI license. Then search for it. So this particular one by Microsoft Corporation, this is the one. Click on it and then click Add. So I've added it. There is no point adding again. You will have it here. So click on it, drag it to fill the page assigned to it. Click on face for our legend. Then project name will be our tax. Add the completion rate, completion percentage. Then start and end date. Start date, end date. Then add our edit the legend. So change the position of the legend to top. And we have this. So I'm going to edit the title. So change the title to just project timeline. So if you expand this and scroll to the other side, you will see that each bar actually shows the percentage completion. This is at 77. So this gray part is showing that it's not yet completed. If the one that is filled up actually show that is at 100%, you get, and this shows a better representation. So that is that for the second page. For the third page, we are going to create the project details. So I'll start by inserting a table, drag that to this end, expand it to cover the whole canvas. Then I will start adding the columns of this table. The first one is going to be project name, then project type, region, project manager, complexity, start date, and an end date, then project cost and project benefits, also completion percentage and status. So I'm going to edit some of the headers. For project cost, I don't want it to be summarized. Just don't summarize. So I don't see the total showing. For benefit, the same thing. Also for the percentage completion. All right. Then I'll start formatting the table. First thing is to turn off the background and the style preset. I want it to be minimal. Then for the grid, I want the border. I want to change the color of the border to our color theme, which is blue. This blue. And options, I want the row padding. I want to increase that to 10. Then scroll down to column header. I want the text color to be white and the background color to be blue. Next thing I'm going to do is to add conditional formatting to status so that some icons represent them. So I'll click on cell element, scroll down to status. Okay, we already have status selected. So I'll turn on the icon. Then if the value is equal to cancelled, then give me the black circle. If the value is equal to in progress, on hold, can you start on hold? Give me the red circle. If the value is equal to in progress, give me the yellow circle. And the final one, if the value is equal to completed, then give me the green. So we have this. The next thing is to turn off that total. Scroll down to total, turn it off. Then I'm going to copy our title from the previous page. So I'll copy the title as well as this slicer. Then paste it here. Don't sync. Rename this to details. Then add more slicers. Reduce the size of this so that we can add more slicer. Copy, paste. For this first one, we want this to be region. For the second one, we want it to be project type. Third one is project name, which is fine. The next one, we want it to be project manager. Then select all. Click on format, align, distribute horizontally, align top and bottom. So that'll be equal spacing in between. Okay, so we have our page 3. We're going to rename these 3 pages. Page 1, we have the project summary. Next, we have the project timeline. And next one, you have the project detail. Next thing we're going to do is to add icons for the navigation. For that, I've imported some icons from icons8.com. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check out the website. So I'll click on insert image. So these icons, they're going to be 2 sets of colors. One is the white and the other is the gray. So whichever page that is highlighted, the icon that represents that page will be white in color, while the other ones are gray, to show that this particular page is highlighted. So I will import for this first page, I want to use this white one because that's our summary page. So this is the icon I want to use to represent our summary page. So I will import for other ones to for other two pages, but this time around there will be gray color. I'll select this for the timeline and select this. I'm going to reduce their sizes so that they all be of equal size. So I'll click on size and style 48 and 48. Okay, automatically. So I'll drag them here and this down here. So distribute them so that will be equal spacing in between. So I'll click on format, align, distribute vertically, and align left and right. So for this particular one, this is the page for summary. You can see this is white in color. So I'm going to set the action for it. Turn it on, turn on the action, scroll down. So right now I want it to be a page navigator. But because of the fact that we're on summary page, you cannot see summary listed. We are only seeing project timeline and details. So we select none for this because we want to use this icon to represent our project summary. But on the tooltip part, I will label it as project summary. Then for the timeline icon, turn it on. Then I'll select page navigator. This time around, select project timeline and tooltip will be project timeline. Then the other one, which is for project detail, turn on the action, click page navigator, project detail, and rename the tooltip as project detail. So I've added action to the three of them. If I hover, you can see project timeline, project summary, and project detail. If I hold down the control key because I'm on desktop and click on this, it will take me to the project detail page. You can see that. So right now we are going to replicate this icon for project timeline and project detail page, highlighting the icon that represents each page as white. So I'll do that quickly now. So now I've replicated them. You can see that on the timeline page, we have the timeline icon highlighted. And if I hold down the control key and go to the details page, you can see that the detail is highlighted. So that is all for this report. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and put in the comment below what you think about this report if you're going to be using it for your project. Thank you.